Hey friends, it's Lola with LolaWrist.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I got a lot of messages that are coming on the phone, so hopefully that doesn't pull up. We are going to do a fun little project for using these note cards. Hey Mary, nice to have you with me. I started using the note cards a while back as gift ideas. I think they're just a really neat way to just make a little something that you want to give to someone, and it's not costly. And I am a big believer in things that are usable. I don't know, Mary, I know you as a teacher. I have had a lot of gifts as a teacher. I've had coffee cups. I've had all the ornaments with music notes on them. I've had anything and everything. And some of my absolute favorites are things like car wash tokens. That to me is the best ever when they give you car wash tokens. I had one young man, his mother would start in like end of November, and she would start making loaves of bread daily, loaves of bread, and putting them in the freezer so that she could pull out, and every classroom teacher got a loaf of bread for that child. Now, that's fine. I mean, if you're a classroom elementary, you get the elementary teacher, and then the 5 or 6 arts and music and computers and all that, and probably the principal. But the ones that I thought were a hoot, his older brothers and sisters, every one of their teachers at the high school and the middle school all got loaves of bread. So, it was like one of the best things. Another one was the peanut brittle. I had a gal that made the best. Doris made the best peanut brittle. And we would get a coffee can that she would line with a material bag, and then plastic inside that, and it was stuffed full of the best peanut brittle you ever had. It's not that I want to eat food, but it's just like I'm one of those get it and get it gone. And when you have all these coffee cups sitting around and you have all of the little knick-knacky things, that's not me. So anyhow, we're going to turn this here. So if you're thinking about buying a teacher gift, I would highly recommend you think about things that they can use. I mean, just so you know, most of us like things we could use. Mary, do you remember any teacher gifts that you got as a business teacher? I'm looking to see if it's on here. I don't see it yet on my Facebook. So give me a second. I'm hunting. There it is. Okay. So I think the note cards are a great bread wreaths. Oh, Christmas bread wreaths for every teacher. Still talk about that today. Yes, see? The homemade gifts truly are the best. I'll tell you another one that I got that was so cool. A young farming community, and they would raise lots of sunflower seeds. They raised several acres of sunflower seeds, and they would harvest them, and then they would turn around and they would take old sweaters and make snowmen with these old sweaters, and then they're absolutely stuffed full of sunflower seeds. So you could use it to display, and then you could turn around and feed it to the birds. It was like great. So probably the one that I hear the most about, though, is our kids when they went through school. And so Megan's kids, Megan's teachers, if being the oldest, if she got the gift given, then Evan's would be a little something different. But they would get a painted nativity that Jim and I painted. And I cannot tell you how many of those nativities that I painted. And people were like, oh great, I got one of the Wrist kids. I'm gonna get the painted nativity. It's like, oh gosh. Here I said, nothing to sit around, but everybody loves a little Christmas something, and then they put it away. So anyhow, we were talking about the note cards, and I was shared with you last week. These are the ones I shared last week, and actually, yeah, I did. I turned around and I did it. I had another set that I did. Hey, Tina, nice to have you with us. But this was one that I shared last week, and I just literally went and bought plastic cellophane bags from the Dollar Tree. So $1.25 for 20, I think, is what comes in the bag. And it's longer. It's probably about yay long, little treat bags. And I just took my scissors and chunked it off, you know, whatever. But that's one. This is one of my all-time favorites, and I'm not going to show it, but you'll probably see it posting this week on my Facebook or on my blog, and it will link it back to it because this has already been uploaded from last year. I made these last year, and it's my all-time favorite note card holder until maybe today's. I may think this one from today is even better. I don't know. I'm going to get this in a little bit more. So this one here, it takes a full 12 by 12 sheet of designer series paper, and it has absolutely no adhesive on it at all. Now the one I have today is actually going to use adhesive, but this one isn't. And when you untie it, you opened it up and it had 2 sets of note cards on each side, and they just kind of slide in here. I think this one is awesome, and I'm telling you, people like stuff like this. They like it because then it's gone. I don't have to deal with it. But if I worked at it, I could pull the thing apart. It just comes apart. So I will be posting that on one of my days just so that you can refresh with it. And I will post the video on YouTube that I did, so you can go back and re-watch it, because it is a super easy one to make. The only thing is you probably need one of those simply scored tools. You know, that thing that I'm always afraid to use. It does work. I just prefer my paper over here, my paper cutter. So I needed to make some baby cards, and I just very quickly went to work yesterday, and I pulled out, and I'm trying to look for paper that we have, and quite honestly, we have a storybook paper, and I can't find it, so I guess I used it all up and have never replaced it. And a lot of it, if you go and you find, oh, this is real pretty, it's blue, well, on the back side, it's all floral. And since this is going to be for a family that they're having a little boy, I was trying to stick away from that. And so I pulled this one. I think this is called Everyday Happiness. I'm not positive, but I think that's what this paper is called. It was one that was available in the catalog, but it was with the scrapbooking stuff. And you might not have even realized it because it's kind of lend itself more towards the scrapbooking. But I thought it worked really well. So these were patterns that I had in it. All of these little pieces are here, and this is wild wheat, and we all know that I didn't like the wild wheat, so the wild wheat is gone. I got that sucker gone. I didn't like that color. But I needed something, so it's on the reverse of these, so I needed something that was going to be a contrast and maybe stand out a little better, but kind of looks like maybe had an accident. But anyhow, that's what it is. Wild wheat. See, there's another one. And I just very quickly stamped them. I used the cutest onesies, and the hanger comes with it. And the neat thing about this little cutest onesie is that the die, it comes out. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little cut piece here. If I hold it up here, and the hanger comes in from the bottom and hangs on it, so it's all connected. So there's that. Just nothing on the inside other than a little outfit, nothing on the envelope but the outfit. And I took these 2 labels, and I did not go to any big trouble trying to figure out the labels. I have Pool Boy always runs extra labels for me. Anything that's going to be stamped from a card class, I usually have 2 to 3 extras just so that I don't have to take all the dies in case somebody messes up. And so anything that's left over, I usually just pull and stuff in a Ziploc bag. And then when I needed something real fast, I just go grab. This is from Stylish Shapes, and this is from Traditional Labels. And these greetings were from Tags of Thanks, I think is the name of the stamp card. So, stamp set. So, very easy. Okay, so the whole idea, and this is my prototype. I'm going to tell you, this is not very neat. It's my prototype. I just grabbed a piece of paper because I really didn't like this stripy stuff. But again, it was more for scrapbooking. And the way it goes together, it makes a pocket. And you set those in and you tie it together with a ribbon. Isn't that super cute? Super, super cute. So we're going to play with this today. This idea came from Poodles. Pootles, not poodles with a D. P-O-O-T, as in Thomas. Pootles. She is in England, and I kind of think of her as like the Baroness of boxing. She has always got the packaging. She's got the best eye when it comes to laying out and creating unusual packaging. So I'm going to give her credit. This is actually hers, and I cased it, but we're going to play with it, and let's see what we come up with. So this is another one of those patterns. I used it on some of the onesies, and if you look around the back, this is what's going to be on the inside. That little prototype was not one I wanted to use for little boys, so that is nothing more than for me to look and see if I can figure out how to do this without embarrassing myself. So we're going to start with a piece of 7.5 across, and it is 12 inches down. 7.5 across and 12 inches down, and I'm going to score it at 1 7/8. And because I'm using this piece right here, this paper cutter, you always score lightly, especially when you're using DSP, because if you do DSP, it will cut through. So that should be long enough that I can feel it. We should be good. All right, I'm gonna rotate it again, and I'm gonna go again at 1 7/8. Okay? All right, then we're gonna take this one. Now let's just set it over here to the side. Let's just go do some work with it. So we're gonna take it and we're gonna fold it on the score line if I can feel it. I know I can't this one. Now let's take the bone folder. And the whole idea is that this one is gonna fold right next to that one. So, in fact, Poodles didn't even show scoring it. She just folded it in, but I thought it was easier if I scored it. All right. Okay, so that's the beginning part of it, okay? All right, now she's going to take it and she's going to turn it on the 12-inch side, and you're going to score it at 5 5/8. 5 5/8. I'm going to go over it a little longer or a little bit harder because it is now double thickness. And I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to turn it, rotating it, and I'm going to score again at 5 7/8. All right. And that's going to give us the piece of the container that gives us that little boxy pocket inside. Just fold on that like so. This may go fast and it may not today. It depends on how well it works, because if I mess it up, it may not work as well. All right, so I had to use this as a tool because I really struggled with this. I don't know how many times I watched her because she was moving relatively fast and she could do this so much easier than me. You lift this up And we're gonna take this fold right here, the one that's the first one at 1 5/8, and I'm gonna fold it back until it is now perpendicular with the side of the pocket. And we have that much done, okay? We're gonna do the same thing with this one. We're gonna pull this up and we're gonna fold this back, holding that corner in place. And then use your bone folder to do that. All right. Now that's 2 of them. We've got to do it 4 times. We're going to take this one. We're going to do the same thing. Pop it out. We're going to fold it down. There it goes. And it's going to fold down, we hope, to here. Pam is always, I always think Pam does a better job with boxes than me. Tina does too. Tina, you always have great. 5 5/8. Yes, 5 5/8. I'm double checking it. Yes, 5 5/8. All right. And then rotate it around, flip it around, and do it again from the other end at 5 5/8. All right. And we're going to do this again. When Megan was first, and you know, you go through this age thing. As a younger, new married couple, you end up having friends that are having kids and younger people. Well, they're not at that point now. They don't have a lot of kids. They don't know a lot of people having babies anymore. But, you know, at first they did. And so every time at work, she would call and say, hey, I have a baby shower to go to at work. Would you make me some baby shower thank yous? And I would do a quick 20 baby thank yous, and I would cellophane them, package them up, and ribbon and stuff. And she would take a meal to the family, and then she would give them those. And one of the guys is like, that's an awful gift, giving them baby thank yous for the thank you shower. And the mother-to-be was like, oh no, that is an awesome gift. Awesome gift. I don't have to go buy any. So that's the whole premise of how it works. Do you see that? So again, it was 7 1/2 inches. We scored here at 1 7/8, and we folded it over. And then you can lightly score at 1 7/8 from this side, or you can just fold it over and do this. Then you rotate to the 12-inch side, and you score at 5 5/8. You're going to turn it, and 5 5/8. Use your bone folder. Make sure everything is good and crisp. And then the whole idea was to take this one at a time, fold it back, make your corner, and score inside. So, all right, so we got that much done. Let's go on ahead and put this much together off to the side. We have one more piece. This is the topper, and the topper needs to be 3 3/4 by 4 3/4, and we are going to score it at 2. And then we're going to score again at 2/3. 2 3/4. Sorry. I was condensing that down in my head. So on the 4 3/4 inch, we scored at 2 inches. And then we scored again at 2 3/4 inches. We're going to go on ahead and fold that down. Like so. Okay. So there is no up or down to this little pocket, so I'm just going to open it up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on ahead and I'm gonna glue the topper to the inside, not the outside. I'm gonna glue it to the inside. It's also gonna help to reinforce that so that it doesn't tear as easy. So we're gonna start with our glue. I am not a big glue person. I notice more and more people using glue. I think cost-wise, it's more effective, cost prohibitive to use the other, but I do like this to use the tape runners. I just like that. But I notice more and more people using glue. Okay, and I really don't want to get glue on my mat, so I'm going to turn this over. Fold it down, and I'm going to lay this in right here so that it fits right in the middle, and it's right at the end, okay? So we have it right there. Hold it in place. Okay. All right, next we're gonna take and we're gonna glue, but be very careful. We are only gluing this part down. Kind of like a paper airplane. Remember when we would do that? You're only gluing this part down. So I'm gonna go on ahead and put my glue here, but I'm gonna hold my finger where that little fold is so that I don't glue that down, because that's my pocket and I want it to be able to pop out. And we're gonna go on ahead and glue that down. And you know what? By the time I'm done, I just will do this too. Let's pull this back up. Let's do the same thing at both sides. So what I did was I'm gonna go the top and also down here, leaving this whole triangle section unglued. No glue on it. So let's do this. All right. So that's there. That's in place. That's in place. Hold it there for a second, and then remember, it'll pop out. I want that to open up. We've got to have this to be able to move, so you cannot glue where those triangles are. All right, so again, do not cross the score lines or the fold lines. I'm going to go on ahead and glue here. This has gone so fast, you guys, it's unreal. But it could have been bad. It could have been a mistake, at which point then I thought it'd never end. So we have a short one today. And I'm going to do the same down here. Not crossing the score line. Lightly glue. We're going to put those down. I'm going to fold that out just a hair. Even though I've got that score line there, I'm going to fold it, because with that extra little bit, it's going to cause a lip right there where this piece went. Okay. All right. And we're going to take that and we're going to fold it up. First thing we're going to do is open this up. And I'm going to stand these up in it like so. And there it is. Okay, but let's finish it. So I went to my trusty little labels, like I always do, and I pulled one of the labels that was left over from last card class, the traditional labels, and I went to the cutest onesie, and we're going with Lost Lagoon. And in that cutest onesie, it has a big welcome to your new baby. So Tina, this is going to Brittany. Brittany, that you know, your friend that comes to Christmas card class. Brittany is so ready to have this baby. So ready. She couldn't even make it to class last time. She felt so bad. Hey, Doris, it's nice to have you join. Don't worry about coming in late. Always glad to have you. But guys, this is a shorter group. This one is tonight. We're not going to be here very long. You're going to have to go back and thought it was going to be harder to make. How many cards does it hold? Poodles did it with 4. I put 6 in it. It's a second baby. I figure they won't have as many thank yous to do. I think you could probably put maybe 7. You might be able to get 8. I did put dimensionals on here, Alicia. So maybe if you don't put dimensionals on anything, that'll help without it being too heavy, okay? Or too thick. So, all right. I pulled this, so give me a second. Let's get the ribbon on. I don't have any Lost Lagoon ribbon. I have that cord, but I really didn't care for the cording. Not much. It doesn't hold very well for me. So instead, I just hit the phone. I'm going to go on ahead and use Pool Party because as far as I'm concerned, Pretty Peacock, Lost Lagoon, and Pool Party all go together. They are all coordinated and they all work together. So I'm going to go on ahead and take this Pool Party, and it's probably old ribbon, and I don't care. You know, when it comes to ribbon and gems, I think anything's game. Okay, we're going to tie it. And I forgot my tweezers, so I'm going to have to do it without my tweezers. So it'll probably take a couple of times of trying it. That's not too bad. Alicia, I thought it was going to be harder too. It really wasn't. But I thought once I did it, I think it was easier if, I want to tighten it. I think I want it tighter. Use the bone folder and make sure all those creases are really good before you go to put that corner point on this side piece, this one here. And then the easiest way to do it is to stand it up and literally go in there and reach in there with your bone folder, because otherwise you're sitting here pulling paper and it's not very, very handy. So there it is. And I've got my little greeting on here. It says, a big welcome to your new baby. And I'm gonna put that in a little plastic cellophane bag. I'm gonna stick in a pizza from Casey's. I'm gonna get a gift card at Casey's and put it in there that they can order, her and Alex can order pizza when neither one of them wants to cook. And they can go and grab a pizza for them and for Rhea, big sister Rhea. And it looks a little off. And that's my gift idea for today. So a really cute box, very easy. I've showed you this one last week, and I forgot to put an envelope in, so I got to open it again. And I told you at the beginning, if you missed it, this is one that I did last year, and it is on here, and it is, I will probably be posting it on Wednesday, and I will post the YouTube link for it because this one is like an unbelievable packet. It has 4 gift card holders in it, 4 note cards, and it is all made from a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and there is no adhesive on it. None at all. Gifts, guys, gifts made are just as treasured, if not more so. And you know what? A family that is got a new baby and they're in survival mode, a pizza, they're going to be thrilled with that pizza when they need it. They can get it. because they're right there by Casey's. And that's kind of pushing out. I got to have to play with that a little more. In fact, let's open it and get that envelope in while I'm thinking about it. Easy. Use your glue. You've got to have a score tool of some sort, your ribbon, and go to town and make some of these. Teachers will love them. And once I've got it tied, I can straighten that out, and I will bag it up, and there it is. Okay. All right, guys, there's my gift for today. The note cards. Tina, it's the note cards that are in it. The package of note cards that you can buy, they come in white and very vanilla. They're the small cards. I think they're 5.5. I think they're 5 by 3.5, maybe. I think that's about right. They're the ones that come in the package of 20. You get 20 note cards and the envelopes for $10. So that little package right there is going to cost me $2.50. If I was really nice, I would put stamps on all those envelopes. But, you know, that's 75 cents a stamp. Yeah. She'll just hand them. I know her. She'll hand them out. So, anyhow, there they are, note cards. I hope you enjoyed that. Go out and think about how can you use your paper talents to gift for somebody. You don't have to spend the big money. If you want to make me bread anytime, though, you are welcome to make me a loaf of bread and bring it, because I cannot make bread and I cannot make peanut brittle. So, you know, those were two of my favorite gifts. I can buy car wash tokens, but I don't make bread. All right, take care. God bless. Bye-bye.